Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Appreciate you tuning in once again. So we are wrapped up with our Monte Color SS. You have seen it in the thumbnail. So we're going to do some quick kind of build process on it a little bit as we finish it up. Show you a little bit how I did the seat belts, all that good stuff. So we'll take you over the bench and give you a quick showdown on how we assembled it and do a little show off at the end. So let's get started. All right guys, so we're adding some seat belts to the car. So we got our little inserts on the bottom, and then we're adding these little shelf pieces that go on the side for the belt to hook onto. Looking at prototype pictures, they have those in there, so we're trying to replicate that. So I got those glued on, so now we're just going to get them painted. And in the car, we added kind of a B-pillar trim. So now when you look at it from the side, you're going to see that trim in there. So we're going to paint that yet. And then we're going to hook our seat belts to that. That should look pretty cool. Alright guys, a little bit of an update on our interior. We are cooking right along. You can see we put seat belts in there. So we just did a 3D file print on those seat belt buckles. And we got them in the back seat and just kind of looped some tape around for the seat belt in the back. And you can see it's just, to me, a tape and just painted. So we added these kind of these side piece on. I looked at some, not all cars had them, but mine does. It's these little guides for the seat belts. So just made those out of styrene strip, painted them up, and I thought that looked pretty cool. Those clasps, I think, supposed to be red, but I found it just seems like when you do everything in the same color, that's why I left it in some black. It just kind of buries itself in there, and you just really can't see it that well. So I think the interior turned out pretty nice on this car. Once we got the gauges in there, we did the kind of the UV keyring glue on there and just dotted that in to give it a little bit of a gloss. And all the black inside this was painted with the gallery markers. That dash, the console, all that, that's all gallery marker. The whole thing is. So other than around the cluster that was flat black to me, and this rubber black steering wheel. And then that's my custom 2-mix red paint, dull red, mixed with a little bright red and a splash of black, flat black. And that's how I make that red interior. So here's the trick. Here's what I got to do, and I'm trying to figure this out yet. I'm holding the camera, guys, so sorry if I'm a little bouncy with it. So we got our body. It's looking like super slick. I think it's looking like, heck yeah, cool. And I showed you I put those pieces in there, those B-pillar pieces. We got a headliner in it, so it's just a piece of styrene plastic cut and painted. So the deal is, if I can get this around without breaking everything. So the thing is I'd like to take and hook that seatbelt on that B-pillar up inside there and then bring it down. So I drilled 2 holes in the sides. You can see down here. So these seatbelts are going to wrap around, and it's going to come down and go into that hole once it goes onto the B-pillar of the car, and it's going to sit through that hole. I'm just trying to figure out how to do this, because obviously once this is in the car, I'm not going to be able to get to it. So it's either going to try to come in here with some glue on the side and tack that. I'm still thinking about that. It'll look cool when it's done. I'm just trying to figure out the best procedure. So that's where we're at. So we're going to try to get this wrapped up. Slowly still picking at the engine. Haven't got much farther than that. I just haven't had a lot going on in here. I want to put some wires on, so we're drilled up for it. I'm just trying to find what I did with my wire material. Well, that was a monumental feat trying to get those seat belts in. They turned out really nice. I got those pieces on the B-pillar, if I can keep it in focus. And we got our seat belts laying in the back. That looks really nice. So that turned out really cool. So I'll show you how I put those in. That was something else. So anyways, so I took one of my skews that we all have hundreds of, and I dipped a little bit in some just some Loctite super glue, and I end up taking this and holding this up on my lap, taking and sliding this in, putting just a dot on that pillar on the inside. And I'd take a different skew, and I'd take that piece and I'd just try to hold it real careful down inside there, and I'd stick it to that B pillar, and I'd hold there for a few seconds. Once I was pretty close, I'd slide this out, and I'd take a little bit of Bob Smith accelerator and put on another little tip, and I put a drop on there and held it in place. And that's how I put those in. Because obviously once the body was in, you could not get that done. I put a headliner in there, and I think that looks pretty good. So once the belts were in, I needed to pull the slack out of the corner. So what I did on the bottom, as you can still see there's tape there. And on this side here, I took the tape off and I pulled it tight and put a little tab of super glue down to hold that tight, so it, looked like it was going into the body. So I just cut a hole through the side of that pan there, and that worked out really good. That was pretty epic. I don't know if that was rough. It took me a few nights to get that finished up, just the seat belts alone, but it was worth it. It looks pretty nice. So that's how I did the seat belts on it, guys. And the seat belts are just made with Tamiya tape. Just the, I can't remember what size it is, the small Tamiya tape, but just folded it over, cut it, and then painted it, and then slipped my 3D printed seatbelt clasp in there, and that worked pretty nice. So other than that, we're going to get the engine finished up. We're doing some spark plug wires on it. So we got the engine sitting here. We got our quadra-junk carburetor on there. Quadrajet, sorry. We got that hooked up. I can't say nothing about those because I know when those are tuned right, they're actually a very good carburetor. So my dad always called it that because he's, always hated working on them. But yeah, so yes, the oil pan is not sanded, so this will never have a mirror under it for those show goers. But yeah, that's as far as that is. But anyways, we're going to put some wires on that and get this installed into the chassis and get this thing final assembled, and we'll bring you guys back. All right, guys, we got that plug wires all put on there. Didn't turn out too bad. A few sketchy spots. We actually had the firing order pretty much close. I'm actually off one. That's not too bad. So there we have that. So we're getting that tidied up, and we're going to get the body installed and start putting some few more accessories on it. We should be about done. Some final touches. We got ourselves some Wilwood brake rotors. Yeah, there we go, coming in focus. The holes are there, they're slotted, just the light's kind of picking them up weird. There we go. So those look pretty cool. I probably should have I kind of messed up, and I should have painted them like a silver first, then the red. I just went ahead and just went all red right on the caliper, and it was just harder to cover. So it kind of filled in that Wilwood logo. Same as the rotor, I probably should have given them a little something, because you guys know resin's kind of hard to paint over without doing a like a primer over it first or something, just a different coat other than the coat you want. So of course printed a couple other ones off, so they turned out pretty nice. So I'm trying to paint the logo, so that was just kind of hard to do, but that don't look too bad. Where the wheel's at, you're really not going to see it that well, so just the illusion of it, I guess, will work, because yeah, they're going to be tucked in there, but at least you can look in there with the light and you'll see, oh, it's got some cool calipers on it. So I did paint that Wilwood logo on there. I mean, I know it's not the best, but like I say, I should have painted a different color first, because I got a little too much red on there, so it filled it in. If I can get the focus on it, it's not going to. So I took one of these tongue depressors and basically just took this, just a popsicle stick basically, and I just took a little bit of Tester's silver on a brush, just a little bit on the end of it, and then I went and took and just on the end of it, just barely touched it, and that worked out pretty good. Later I might do a new set of print on them and just try to paint them a different color, but for right now this is going to work on this car. The car is not perfect by any means, so it'll work for this. It'll work for this project. So other than that, we'll get this together and we'll show you the final wrap-up when we're done. Alright guys, there we have it, the 86 Monte Carlo SS by Revell. This is a pretty nice kit, went together fairly well. Not a lot of fitment issues, and I'll tell you what, the hood fits really nice on there, and apparently I don't have it shut all the way. But unbelievable. It went together really nice. My major only fitment issue I had with anything out of the kit was those rear quarter windows, and I've had issues before in some of these Revell kits. Other than that, do a little sanding, a little test fit, and they go in pretty easy. Other than that, we did some custom work on it. The car is basically box stock minus the seat belts and the rims and tires. We added some custom exhaust on it. I remember back in the day always seeing these cars out and about, and it seems like the exhaust always kind of hung down like it is. So it was made with K&S tubing, and actually even on the driver's side when it comes back around, if you look at the back tailpipe on the end, I actually put a hanger on that because it was kind of on the loose side. So I took a piece of piano wire. You can see just above that, or below that rear light, marker light, you can see a little wire hanging down. So I got a little hanger just for some added durability. We also got our Michigan license plate in the back there. Tinted the windows with some Tamiya smoke, and the big thing we did was the interior. We added seat belts. So on top of the seats, there's a bracket that goes across the top, and I saw a few videos with that special type bracket across there. I'm not sure if that was something that was on every car. Not that I've seen actually, but a few cars had that, so I thought that'd be kind of neat to incorporate that, plus for extra strength. Just to make sure it didn't get broke off. The seat belts are made out of Tamiya tape, as you've seen in the previous of the video. So yeah, other than that, it turned out really, really nice. I'm very happy with this build. We'll take a look underneath it here quick. It's just basic, not a lot going on. And then we'll take a look under the hood. So underneath we just have our basic build. Nothing too fancy. Got a chrome oil pan on there for the transmission. And you can see the exhaust is not actually touched in. I have to figure out what to put in there to make that completed. But that was, like say, a little bit of trick putting that in there. Like, so you can see that wire coming down from the exhaust, holding that exhaust up. So it worked out pretty good. Looking under the hood, just take the hood right off. So we did a few customization pieces. We did a little bit of add-ons. We got some battery wires on there. Going to the alternator, and we have spark plug wires on it. So surprisingly, yes, I put some spark plug wires on it. Decaled the necessary decals that comes in the kit, and that worked out pretty good. Looking at the interior a little closer, we can get you a little better shot in there. That turned out really nice inside. Pretty happy with that. And like I say, we did those seat belts. So we also added some B-pillar post. We can turn it around so you can see where it's thick inside that post right here, and you can see the seat belt is attached to it up top. Those are 3D printed buckles. So we can get to that side here. Paint turned out pretty nice. So looking at the other side, same thing with the buckles. That turned out really sharp. So I'm just super impressed with the interior. I'm very happy with that. I like a red interior. I think red interior is very sharp. We got a little Chevrolet decal underneath the dash there, or above the dash, or the glove box, I should say, in the middle of the dash. That was in the kit, and so on. So there we have it, guys. There's the Monte Carlo in its glory. And like I say, once again, I think that turned out pretty nice. Pretty happy with the kit. I did lower the stance down a little bit. Those are some pretty tall wheels. They're like a 20-inch wheel. Like I say, they're 3D printed, and the decals on the rims are STS decals. So pretty happy with overall. Alright guys, that's going to wrap this up, and yeah, so we will see you guys on the next video. You guys have a good one, and thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.